stuff like that. We want to know more about Carolyn and her history and her journey into music. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's been like since birth, I guess,
I feel you.
Same thing as a lot of our stories, I guess. Like we just were always in it.
So what's like city-wise, where were you raised at? And just to tell the public and the people, what city were you raised in?
Yes. So I'm from North Carolina, raised in Fayetteville, North Carolina, same place as J. Cole. And then I moved to Arkansas for a couple of years to go to high school. My parents separated. Then I went to Huntsville, Texas to go to college because my dad is a professor there. So I went there, and while I was getting my accounting degree, I fell in love with the music scene in Houston.
Yep.
Yeah, and while I was in college, just started doing talent shows with the radio station in Houston, and then I don't know, it was music from then on. Like started going into studios. And
so when was your first song that was out there in public? You know what I'm saying?
Like first commercially released.
Something
ever?
like it, yeah.
Juan Gotti's album.
Oh, Juan Gotti.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a song called Crush.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, he was the first person to put me on any kind of commercially released
I didn't
album.
know that. Hey, shouts out Juan Gotti for that. Yeah,
That's the
definitely.
big bro. Yeah.
Hey, so you basically, and how, like, were you like still a teenager or you already out of the teenagers scene?
No, I was in my 20s already. Like I
Okay.
I was like my last year in college basically.
Gotcha.
I graduated like in '03,
Yeah.
and I was already moving into Houston. Like I was already in Houston, like trying to get in studios and record songs, and like because I'd always written songs, but
Yeah.
I was trying to do like the whole let me put a demo together because back then, I mean, that's all we could do.
Yeah, no, I remember those times, old
Mm-hmm.
school times, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good music that came from Houston at one time. Well, when I was in the rap game, you were probably before this time when Chameleonaire, Slim Thug,
Yeah.
and all of them came out, and before that, there was a whole Texas movement of Hispanic artists blowing up.
Yes.
And I remember when I first started, I'd go to Houston and I would see all these little CDs, and I'm like, so they got their own thing going over here when I barely started from my side, So,
Yeah.
So yeah, good things, good memories out there. What was the first song what was the name of the song, the first one that released out there like that, or got people's attention, actually, I could say?
Oh my God, that got people's attention. It would have to be off of the SPM album. It'd have to be that Dopehouse Family track.
Got you. And that was in what, like early 2000s or something, maybe?
2006.
Oh,
yeah.
damn, way over there, 2006.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, yeah, we'll get more into that later about the whole situation about Dopehouse and how you became in it. So before that, you weren't even part of that whole Dopehouse movement, or
No, I was like still in college.
Oh, okay.
So
you
I
weren't-
had just heard about Dopehouse. Like Baby Bash
Yeah.
was still Baby Beesh at the
Beesh,
time. I
Beesh,
met
yeah,
Beesh.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
he's the first person to put me on a song from
Yeah.
Dopehouse.
Dope,
It never
dope.
released, but he was the first person I was in the studio with over
Got you,
there.
yeah, Beesh. I
So
remember.
shout out to him too.
Baby Beesh. I remember
Yeah.
seeing his CD out there too, and I was like, okay, who's this guy? And I remember he came from California. He moved out there,
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah, he was signed to Dopehouse then too.
And he was before my time, but I remember that's what was going on over there. And then, so when did you start basically connecting with Dopehouse and all that situation?
Well, it was like I was just doing talent shows still. I was in college still. Went on to the radio station, the hip hop radio station chat room. Hey, I'm looking for studio time. This guy hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I've got studio time." I told him I got $100. I can get 2 hours. He's like, "I got you 2 hours," and he gave me the address to Dopehouse Records, and that's where Payne Studio was at. So it was like a total it just happened that way.
Yeah. So basically, you went there. Were you doing like a verse for someone, a hook, or what was it, or just a full song by
A
yourself?
full song by myself was my first song that I wrote by myself, and I had my first beat, everything. Like I was doing my first full song, and I wanted to record it, and I ended up recording it over there with Payne at Payne Studio at Dopehouse.
Yeah.
And I never left because he just told me, hey, like they really liked my voice, and he told me like if you can do some hooks for me, keep coming back over here, and I can get you studio
Yeah.
time. We'll trade it for studio time. I was like, sure, yeah.
And then at that time, did you meet all the other artists at Dopehouse, or you're just doing it by yourself, kind of thing?
No, I met Twin Berettas, and I met Juan Gotti at the time over there, and Bash, and Baby Beesh.
And
yeah.
Juan Gotti, was he part of Dopehouse before when you first did a song with him, or did he come?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was.
He
already
was.
In. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was your ticket into that little circle, slowly sliding in, right? Kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Got you. So then that was in the early 2006, you're saying? Right?
That was 2000. Actually, the
should've
Juan
been
Gotti
earlier,
album
right?
came out in '05.
Okay.
So we did that one in '04. But that's when I started working with SPM too. Was like '04.
Got
so
you. Because
things didn't get released.
Because I remember when I first came out, I didn't really know too much about that, but maybe around 3, 4, I start hearing about the journeys that they were doing over there, and with Dopehouse signing with Universal Records and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So you were around in those times?
No, I was not. Well, I kind of came around, but then I left.
After.
Yeah, I
Okay.
left and came back. And then when I came back was when Juan Gotti first got his deal with Warner Latina.
Okay, yeah,
He,
yeah,
he got his Upstream deal.
yeah.
And that's when he was just starting to blow up, with his
Got
stuff.
you, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
his
Texas.
first album did so well independently, and then he got nominated for the Latin Grammy.
Yeah.
And that's when he got his deal. So that's when I came around and started doing, actually, I was doing royalty accounting at
Gotcha.
Dopehouse.
Oh, shoot, accounting. Oh, man. So you know about that money. That's
Yeah, I
right.
got my degree.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.